a Zanussi Apeed 2. Not the first film, the second film. This one came my way because it's done what a lot of cheap vacuum cleaners like to do. It has completely blown apart the mains cable where it enters the machine. So our task today is reasonably simple. Take this 14-month-old brand new looking vacuum cleaner and fix it so it can continue vacuum cleaning some more. Let's have a look. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner, Zanussi and Electrolux chums. How are you today? Yes, I think this is what the Electrolux Gazelle and its cheap 2000s brethren turned into, a rebadged, pretty basic, no frills vacuum cleaner. This is the sort of thing that Mr. Parvaz would love. So yeah, we're not going to be plugging it in right now, but we'll have a look around everything else. We have, if I can get it out, a hose. It's a non-stretch hose, but as I found out from using that Dirt Devil with Electrolux Contour clone with its non-stretch hose, it's actually pretty easy to use. The machine doesn't pull itself around. It's also got, look, adjustable suction control built in to the hose. That's a very decent feature for a cheap vacuum cleaner to have. I like it. Then we have little tiny dusting brush, and then this will be these, not a scabbard tool, a normal length but fairly decent crevice tool inside of the one. Marvellous, they can stay off. So that's the top part of this machine, really. Here is the bin. We might have a look at that in a bit. Oh, what's under here? That was the cover for the post-motor filter, which was not seated into place. Fair enough. We need to do the cable, which on these machines involves being right down here at the bottom. I'm fairly sure we might need to undo some of these screws and split the thing apart. But yeah, we need to start off down below. With the 5 crosshead screws removed, the base plate should come off. It should. It's going to be clipped onto the front as well, which is a bit of a pain. Come on. Oh, let me find some persuasive device. There it is. Oh, gosh, lovely. Lots of dirt. So, yeah, there is our pretty mint looking base plate. Nice felt strip at the back. Oh, dear me. Then, well, we need to take the belt off, which was actually in pretty good condition. And to take the belt off, we need to take the brush roll out, which has some very nice stiff brushes, which will hopefully be playing with those in a bit. And then we can take our still perfectly fine and reasonable belt off. Then we need to turn the machine back around and get what I think is a T30 Torx bit into our driver. Yes, it is. Then we can remove these 2 screws here. Which will release the hinge mechanism, and then the machine will start to separate. Although, annoyingly, we are going to now undo 2 more screws here and here. Because that way I don't have to take the hose off of that bracket. I can just screw that bracket back up. So yeah, fair enough. That's pretty cool. I think it had to come off anyway. Because yeah, this is now where we are. And I think actually it's going to come off from the bottom on this sort of motor housing. And there we go. We have it's going to be a bit awkward, but we have our motor out of the vacuum. Oh dear. So the neutral from the mains cable goes straight to this side of the motor. Then a wire comes off of there to the thermal cutout and goes back onto the switch. So we're basically going to chop out the mains cable, and then I can solder onto those other wires. Oh, and then I need to undo that 1 screw to get the remains out. And with our old flex removed, we can see a little bit better now. So yeah, I've left those two wires attached. The next thing that I want to do is to rip out and bin this motor, well, suicide covering, I call them. And there we go, the motor, wow, is in good order. There it is, look, Shozu Shunju Electric Company Limited. Very nice indeed. Goes with our Mutli-Cyclonic vacuum cleaner. It's the Taylor told me about that. And yeah, my one has a spelling mistake too. So, all well so far. I don't want to put the original flex back on because it's just going to, you know, go all horrible and snappy again. So I found this flex here, which I'm hoping I can feed back through this hole. I mean, we're missing the cable exit grommet now, but I then intend to cable tie it to there so that all the strain happens up here and not down there. So I'm going to get this fitted in, buttoned up, soldered up, and then we can perhaps test the thing. About the best way that, oh gosh, even that's not tall enough. The best way that I found to do this is to literally have the machine standing up. Then it will slot down into place, which is rather hard to film. So then you can just drop down the top cover onto the machine, and once that is done and screwed in, I shall rebuild it all to the point where we can turn it on and test it. Where the heck do you think you're going? And before long we have, I think this was a Miele flex. The plug certainly looks Miele to me, on our cheap, nasty Zanussi. Let's plug it in. Well, that works. There we go. Let's plug it in. What I did is I ran the cable behind this hose thing there, and I cable tied it. So you can put on the flex now, and it shouldn't, hopefully won't, pull directly on that curve. So in theory, there we go, it is doing something. Yeah. Well, it works. Is it working to its full capacity? I mean, it's only going to be a cheapy little 700 watt machine. What does the filter say? We're not washing it now. That seems like a very pleated filter to me. I think it's working fine. I think it's going to be as good as it's going to be. There is some suction. Click. Did it click on? I think you are. What actually are you? You are, yeah, 700 watts. But I would imagine the fans on this are tiny. Yeah. No, I think that is as good as it's going to get. A good vacuum off probably wouldn't fix it too much either. I was going to say, how far do we go? Yeah. Oh, ooh, no, why look. There is a fine shroudy thing under there that is very clogged up. Maybe we should get the Victor out and give this a good going over. Right, let's see what improvements we can make with the Victor V9. Well, that all comes apart fairly well. look at in there, very dusty, but not terrible. Nothing's going to be that clogged up, although there is quite a lot built up inside of there. So yeah, plenty of dust traps. And with that all dusted off, has that made any difference? Not really. Yes, a little bit, but only a little tiny bit. I think, yeah, this is just one of those machines that isn't that good. But this one is going to be a lot better than it was before, thanks to its nice fixed cable. So that is pretty much how you get to a lot of these. If the cable goes in at the bottom, you've got to take the head off, get the motor housing open, and then it's all there and pretty easy to get to. So, yeah, fairly simple, if not a little bit time consuming. And this Zanussi Multi Cyclonic Airspeed 2 can go back to its owner and continue to speed through the air for hopefully many more years to come. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed. And I, hopefully not this Zanussi, will see you soon. Bye bye.